So, I'm here with a box of Kleenex and a soda. It's about 1:15 in the afternoon, Tuesday the 22nd, January 22nd, I think. I had therapy today instead of yesterday, and this may or may not be a video that gets posted. I just need to talk, and it's Roxy scratching. I just need to talk, and maybe this is something that I'll get posted, or maybe this is just something that I can rewatch for myself, or maybe I will just get the release I need from talking, but that's what I'm gonna do today. Over the last several years that I've been seeing my therapist, there have been probably 3 or 4 times when he's asked me if I hate myself. And my answer to that has always been, without any hesitation, absolutely not. I don't hate myself. I've never hated myself. And even when other people told me that I should, that, you know, I can't be happy being fat, I can't be happy with this, that, or the other, that never affected me. But something happened last week that really triggered me in a way that it provided some clarity on what's really gone on with me and why I punish myself or self-sabotage sometimes. And I don't hate myself. I feel worthless. And I felt worthless since the day I left my job. And the last time I felt like this was when I lived at home. And I swore once I moved out that I would never feel that way again. I would do everything in my power to make sure that I was worthy. I've alluded in the past to issues growing up with the woman who gave birth to me. I don't even bother calling her my mother anymore because she never really was. And they started at an early age. And let me just tell you, being the child of a narcissist is hard. And never, ever did I feel loved by her. Never, ever did I feel like I was worth anything to her. Never, ever did I feel wanted by her. And I swore from an early age that I wouldn't live her life. I wouldn't allow myself to live her life. And I'm 40 and I am turning just like her. Not personality wise. I mean, I don't know, but I'm disabled and jobless at 40, and she was disabled and jobless like at 37. Maybe even earlier. I think I was a sophomore or junior in high school. Growing up, I knew that she didn't like me. And that my brother was her favorite. And she made sure I knew that on an almost daily basis. And it got worse as I got older. But I can remember being 6 or 7 years old and doing something to anger her, and she wouldn't talk to me. Like, I would try to talk to her and she would just ignore me. And we're not talking about a couple of hours or a couple of days or even a week. I mean, I remember one time it was like 2 months. We lived in a tiny house and she would just ignore me. And thank God for my grandmother. I mean, living with my nana was a blessing and a curse. I think it was a curse because it just made my mother hate me more. And it was a blessing because I had one person who loved me. Completely unconditional. I needed that. My therapist told me today that he thinks I'm the strongest person he's met because I've been able to just keep fighting. You know what, fought my entire childhood. You know, put myself through school. I got a bachelor's degree from the University of Oklahoma. I got a graduate degree. I was a professional. I have a husband and a house. The physical and emotional and verbal abuse she put me through. I'm 40 and I'm still dealing with the scars. And lately they feel like fresh wounds. I mean, you should have never tell a child that you should have aborted them or given them up for adoption or wish they'd never been born. You shouldn't ever tell a child that you hate them because they have a better relationship with your parent than you do. Everybody that's mutual friends or knows me or knows her through me, I know they're like, why, you should just, poor Linda, you're such a horrible daughter, but poor Misty, poor 10-year-old who was told that she should have never been born, poor 15-year-old who got her punched in the face in the backyard, poor 20-year-old who had to listen to her grandmother apologize for dying because she knew what she was leaving me with 3 weeks before she died. Poor girl who just wanted her mom to love her. She just wanted to be loved, and that never happened. It's never gonna happen. I was 35 years old when I stopped talking to her. It's been almost 5 years, I think. Yeah, almost 5 years. The final straw for me was when my brother was having some health issues and she had stopped talking to him because of who he had decided to date and eventually marry, who was no prize, but at the same time, my brother was like 30 or 31, 30, I don't even remember, probably closer to 32, and it was his decision to make. And I remember telling her that she needed to reach out to him because he was having serious health issues and just to make amends. And she told me not to talk to her about him ever again. And I just decided not to talk to her about anything at all anymore. At that point, I'd reached the end. I couldn't take it anymore. I stopped struggling to get her to love me, and I started realizing that I had to let go of that toxic relationship. And honestly, that's what threw me into my first real bout of depression in 2016, I think. I don't even remember. But it was right before my birthday. It was like my birthday and Mother's Day are pretty close together. And Mother's Day is the worst holiday for me because I see all these friends on Facebook talking about how great their moms are and how they have such a close relationship and their mother is their best friend, and I grieve the relationship I should have had, and I grieve the one person who gave me that type of love who died half a lifetime ago. Linda just made me feel so fucking unworthy of even just breathing. And that hadn't been an issue for me until I had to leave my job because of this stupid myasthenia. I can remember trying to get her help to apply for financial aid so I could go to college, and getting her to sign paperwork was like pulling teeth. But when it was time for Bo to go to college, she was all on top of it. Took him to school for the first, the favoritism was just so blatant. I can remember wrapping presents for her one Christmas, and she'd spent like $1,200 or $1,300 on him for Christmas, and I got like a $10 gift. And she was one of those parents. I saw a meme going around at Christmas. It's like, oh, you need toothpaste, Santa will bring it to you in your stocking. And she was absolutely one of those parents to me. If I needed clothes or something, that I didn't get anything for Christmas or whatever. So, that's not that big a deal, but it's just another thing in a long line of things that just made me feel completely unworthy. It just made me feel completely unloved. Last week, I told Rob we were going to have a steak for dinner. And I can remember thinking that I needed to go to our small freezer that's attached to our refrigerator and getting out the steak and putting it in the sink. Like, I remember knowing I needed to take those steps, and I thought I took those steps. So that night when I went to go grab the steak, there wasn't a steak. I had completely forgotten it. And it's not the first thing I've forgotten, and it just completely set me off. I just feel broken and worthless. Like, I can't do shit. I can't even fucking remember to defrost dinner. I bought a bad chair finally because I can't take a shower without one. And I just started sobbing. I told Rob he deserves someone better than me. He deserves not to be shackled down with someone who's broken, who's never gonna get better. There's no cure for myasthenia. I could lose 300 pounds and still be like this. He deserves someone so much better than me. And I know that's not logical or rational, but it's how I feel. And I've told him that he doesn't deserve to be shackled with someone like me for the rest of his life. He deserves someone who can go and do things with him, who can, he can just enjoy life with, instead of having to take care of every little thing and do every little thing. And thank God he's a good man, because I know he won't leave me. But at the same time, I feel so guilty because he just deserves so much better. I know that my self-worth is not, I know that my worthiness is not tied to being able to work or those kinds of things, but I can't help it sometimes. I don't think you can get it until you've lived through something like that. That's why, I wanted to do that video on ableism, because I've had so many comments over the last few weeks using the word excuse. Like, you're making excuses. That's just an excuse. And it's like, I wish I was making excuses. I wish this muscle weakness and this inability to fucking brush my own damn teeth someday was an excuse, but it's a disease that I have to live with for the rest of my life. I don't get to do all the traveling that I wanted to do. We don't get to redo our kitchen or get a new bathroom or, all these things that we had planned to finish getting out of debt, because I no longer can work and I can no longer have a salary. I went from making almost $55,000 a year to nothing. Wait, maybe it was 60,000. I don't even remember, but I make nothing. Fuck. It's like, how do you even feel worthy when you can't do anything? I mean, my word for the year is joy, and I am trying my damnedest, but I just need something to go right. I need something to go right. It's been since March of 2016, it's just been one thing after another, and I am at the very end of a very frayed rope. But I just need something to give in a good way. I got on the scale on Saturday, and I've been doing everything that I should be. And I was up 6 pounds, and I cried. Rob came home from getting a haircut, and I was just sobbing on the bed, and he thought something, crazy had happened, and I was just like, I gained 6 pounds. It's water weight, because I've been dealing with some swelling and inflammation, but still, it's like, why can't things go right? I mean, it's like, fuck, I cannot take any more beating down. I can't take it. I can't take any more beating down. I just can't. I need need a ray of hope. I need some sunshine in my life. Figuratively, not literally, of course. You know, I just need a break. I need things to just be okay for for a few months. Hell, I'd go for 2 weeks or so with just things being okay, where I have a good day, where I'm able to wake up and take a shower and do what I need to do, and I can cook and I can do all these things that make me feel like I'm worthwhile. It's so fucking hard. And people, you're making excuses. God, I wish. I wish if I didn't do something, it was just because I was lazy that day. I wish. I'm on my 8th Kleenex, I think. It's like what I wouldn't give to just be able to go somewhere. By myself. Without worrying about how am I gonna get my walker in and out of the car? Is there close enough parking? Am I gonna have the energy to walk the store, put my walker back in, drive home? You know, I took so much for granted before. I mean, no one asked for something like this to happen. No one does. I'm just really, really struggling. And I feel so much wife guilt because there are days where, you know, we have to grab something and I just feel so bad about it. Or there's days that, you know, I just can't do. This isn't helping. I was hoping that this would just help, but it's not helping. Fuck. It's like, how do you get that back? Like, how do you feel worthy again? How do you feel whole again? How do you get back to a point where you don't feel like you're just a wasted space? I don't know. I mean, my therapist is, you know, we're really going to start working on it next week. I mean, I brought it up at the end of our appointment today, which was dumb, but just getting that conversation started was so hard for me. I don't like feeling inadequate. I don't like feeling like I can't do something. I've been going and doing, and he called me a survivor today, and I don't even feel worthy of that, which is so stupid. But I had some non-scale victories, and I just don't even feel like I can celebrate them because I just don't feel worthy of being celebrated. And I don't understand where these feelings are coming from. I kind of know, but at the same time, it's like, there's nothing Rob has done that would make me feel this way. So, I don't know. I just know that I'm just so over it. I reached out to a travel agent for Disney. Wes from High Falutin Low Carb gave me a company in Florida that also does videos and stuff, and I've decided that I want to make that trip happen. So we're shooting for December 2020. Number one, it'll give us plenty of time to save, and number two, hopefully it'll give me another year to get some more weight off. But I'm still gonna have to go with Scooter. It's like we're still gonna drive rather than fly because trying to fly disabled just scares the shit out of me. And I know a part of me is also still grieving the life that I don't get to have. And I know I need to let that go and live in the moment, but it's so hard. I wish you guys knew the old me. You guys only know what you've been seeing of me since I've been struggling. I miss her a lot. I miss being able to go and do things and not worry about it. I've told you guys, even at my heaviest, I was super active. And, I put myself through college. I worked 50, 60, sometimes 70 hours a week, and I took anywhere between 14 and 18 hours. I found a 24-hour daycare center close to Norman, and I would work, sometimes I would work overnight. Sometimes I'd get to work at 5:30 in the morning. And, if I wasn't at school, I was working. And the same thing when I got my graduate degree. I was working on my very first night, my very first class. I didn't have a job. There was a superintendent that needed a teacher, and I started, that was on a Monday, and by Friday I had a job, and I was taking 9 hours of graduate work and teaching my first year first graders, and I was an extra class, so I got all the new kids. And then I continued to get my graduate degree while I worked full-time. I did that. I worked full-time and went to school full-time for 9 years of my life. You know, not a stranger to hard work and, you know, doing a lot. And so not being able to do anything is fuck. I can't even drive myself to my hometown, which is right around 2 hours away, maybe closer to an hour and a half. I can't even do that anymore. I can't even drive fucking across Dallas anymore. And it pisses, like, it makes me angry. It makes me angry. Then it's just like this cycle of anger and not feeling worthy because I can't do shit, and then being pissed because I can't do shit, and missing the time when I could do shit, and being upset that I took all that for granted. And those are the you know, the days where I eat whatever I want to are the days where I just need a day where I forget that I'm sick. I just need a day where I feel like Misty before myasthenia. I will never forget the day I woke up and knew something was wrong. I remember sitting on the bed, Rob and I were getting dressed, and he's like, "What's the matter?" And I was like, I don't know, you know, my arms are just I just feel weird. I'm just so tired. And I'll remember trying to hold my toothbrush, you know, and not being able to, or standing in the shower and not being able to wash my hair. You know, spending the entire month of April thinking that I had ALS. You know, for some reason, I just can't move past all that. And it doesn't help when people tell me I'm just making excuses, and I know, don't listen, you know, block them, don't read the comments, or, you know, whatever. It's like, which is easy to say, but at the same time, it's already been read. It's already in my head. And I just think, you know, God, I wish I was making excuses. God, I wish I could just wake up and, like I said, it's just a lazy day and everything will be fine, instead of, you know, taking 23 pills a day and trying to get some semblance of that I can just do something. Oh, you should go to a naturopath. Well, fuck you, because that may or may not work. You know, everybody has the answer. They think. Shit, I shouldn't talk about this. This is just gonna make me angry. I said my mantra for 2019 was don't die. But some days this doesn't feel like living. My therapist called me a survivor, and some days I feel like I'm barely surviving. I need an Avage after this. So yeah. I wish this helped. I was hoping for a release and that it would just provide some clarity and I would feel better once I got it off my chest, but I don't. So yeah. Anyway, I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. Like I said, I just turned on the damn cameras so I could have someone to talk to. I hate feeling like a burden. I hate feeling like I can't do anything. I hate it. It's like the whole thing, I just feel like there's a divide in my brain where like half of me is done and the other half is fighting for all that she's worth. And the other half is done because she feels like she doesn't deserve it. Like she's worthless. Put me out to pasture, stick a fork in me, I'm done. I don't like feeling this way. I don't like it. So hopefully, hopefully therapy will help. Like I said, I brought it up at the very fucking end of my appointment today, which was dumb, but I knew opening this can of worms would be really, really hard. Really, really hard. But hopefully dealing with the hard stuff will help me feel better and move forward and be able to, you know, enjoy the life that I have now. There was someone posted something and I'll try to remember to throw it up if I post this video. If you're watching this, holy crap. Talking about enjoying, enjoy the life you have, the story you have now, not the story you thought it would be or something like that. And it just really resonated with me because that's what I've been grieving the past couple of years is, just everything that we had, everything that I could do. I bought a long-haired wig because I miss having long hair, but I can't grow out my hair because I can't take care of it. I have to keep it this short, and at least with the wig, I could put it on when I want to feel that way and, can take it off at the end of the day if I want to, but I haven't even had the strength or the stamina to even put it on. I mean, this trip to Disney isn't set in stone. I reached out to a travel agent, we got some quotes, and she's been very, very helpful we decided to try for 2020, December 2020. And a part of me is so fucking excited. And the other part of me is so scared to death of every ounce of energy is going to take me to do it. If we go, you know, we're going for 10 days and somebody's like 10 days at Disney. And I'm like I told Rob, it's like, I'm going to have to drive a scooter and that wears me out. So I want to be able to go explore, you know, do whatever we're going to do for a few hours and go back to the room and rest and then go and do again. Or, you know, if I can only do a couple hours one day, I want to see all of it because this is a once in a lifetime trip for us. You know, and this may be some of the only travel I get to do. You know, I hate being such a I hate being so realistic and pragmatic and all those philosophy words that I don't remember because I hated that class. But it's like we were driving the other day and I said, God dang it. And he's like, what? I was like, well, the practical part of me or the logical part of me is like, why are we going to spend this much money on a trip when we can put that much money toward a bathroom or we can put that much money toward a new kitchen? And, you know, because we need new cabinets because these are falling apart. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like I have to go on this trip. I have to do something that I had planned before I got sick, or I'm going to be emotionally stunted for the rest of my life, you know? I know I'll probably never make it to Italy. I know I'll probably never make it, you know, to Greece and all those other places that I wanted to go. So at least let me go to the one place on earth that is probably the most accessible, you know, and just enjoy, you know, a couple of weeks at Disney at Christmas time. So we'll see, but yeah. Now I have a headache. I'll be up till Thursday as much caffeine as I've had today. I was giving up caffeine because, I mean, phentermine is an amphetamine, which is basically speed. And drinking caffeine on top of it, even if I have caffeine at 9 a.m., like, this is Tuesday, so Sunday, I had caffeine at 9 a.m., and I didn't go to sleep till 6:30-ish Monday morning. Slept till 10:30, and I had to take a sleeping pill last night so I could go to sleep. So, but then today I've had two iced coffees and a Route 44 Diet Dr. Pepper no ice from Sonic. And Rob's like, why are you drinking caffeine? I was like, because I have so much shit I need to get done. I'm so far behind. There's just so much I want to do and so much I can't. Oh, fuck. I need to call an electrician. I bought a new light for our dining room. So we're going to move that light in the dining room to our breakfast nook, which is where I'm setting. And then we had new lights installed. Golly, when did we redo that bathroom? 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And they somehow screwed up because the lights, they're LED lights and bulbs have gone out. And then there's like a flickering and there's like a light show every time I go in there. So I need to get an electrician out and get that done. So yeah. Randomly rambling about random rambles. That's what I'm going to call this video. If I post it. All right. That's enough crying today, Misty. Let's go get some shit done.